इंट्रोडक्शन हो जाए ना हमारा। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन एंड जज़ाकल्लाह खैर फॉर जॉइनिंग अस। ये आज का सेशन जो है ये ऑलरेडी जो चल रहा है सिलसिला हम बात कर रहे हैं उसी का पार्ट 3 है, जो हम इंशाल्लाह जल्दी एज सुन एज पॉसिबल हम इसको कवर करेंगे। होपफुली आप तैयार होके आए होंगे क्वेश्चंस के साथ और रिवीजन के साथ। लेकिन उससे पहले मैं चाहूंगी कि सिस्टर मैम फरहाना है हमें थोड़ा सा बीओटी के बारे में बता दें और कुछ अगर हमें थोड़ा सा इंट्रोडक्शन दे दें मैम फरीदा का, तो हमारे नए आने वालों के लिए ज्यादा इजी हो जाएगा। इसके लिए ओवर टू यू मैम फरहाना।
Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum everyone, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept each and every moment of time we spend here in learning and improving ourselves, inshallah. So just an introduction, this is under the cover of Voice of the People project. Voice of the People project was started after October 7th, and the purpose is to make the world a better place. Inshallah, our goal is to, create good leaders and make them accountable, to the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as a part of this, as a part of the people who are going to be doing this, we need to equip ourselves, and Find Your Truth is serving that training platform. And inshallah, today, the topic we are going to be doing is building relationships and how to resolve conflicts. That is the important series which we are doing currently. So Sister Farida has a significant experience in working with kids, in working in the education system. So we're going to benefit from her expertise in this area as to how to build strong relationships and resolve the conflicts. So without any further ado, Sister Farida, please go ahead.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you, Sister Farhana. Sister Shazia, can I put my presentation up? Oh. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So this is our talk about predicting human behavior. इस पे हम बात कर रहे थे। 2 सेशंस हमने कवर किए हैं in revising the causes of conflict, क्योंकि आप उसमें personality difference पे हमने ज़्यादा टाइम निकाला है. So now we are looking at predicting. How do we predict and why should we predict? So let's start with that. We've looked at all these points last time, and then we are going on now to see predicting human behavior. So हमने क्या हम कह रहे थे कि हर एक की अपनी consciousness level है, right? We talked about everyone having their own consciousness level. तो आप एक frequency पे, एक wavelength पे आप operate कर रहे हो. So another person is operating at another wavelength, right? So there's bound to be a conflict. अगर बहुत फर्क है दोनों में, just like salt and sugar नहीं mix होएगा, वो फर्क चीजें हैं, या water and oil नहीं mix होगा, उसी तरह you will have a problem if your consciousness level is very much different to the other person's level. So इस सिलसिले में you have to spot कि उनकी consciousness level क्या है जिससे आप बात करें. जब भी कर रहे हैं, you have to determine it in some way before you phrase your sentence, before you talk. जो उनसे डेटा आ रहा है उसकी भी evaluation आपको उसी के मुताबिक करनी पड़ेगी कि उनकी consciousness level क्या है. Alright. So अगर हम देखते हैं just at क्या कर रही है पर्सनालिटी जिसकी फियर पे है कॉन्शियसनेस लेवल, उनका अप्रोच क्या है, वो किस किस्म की पर्सनालिटी रख रहे हैं. तो वी आर सेइंग दे आर गोइंग टू बी सीक्रेटिव. दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू वांट एवरीबॉडी, दे फील स्कैर्ड. दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू वांट एवरीबॉडी टू नो एवरीथिंग. विथड्रॉ भी होंगे फ्रॉम सिचुएशन, फ्रॉम पीपल.
Think about this.
And they are going to, unki attention kidhar hogi. If you're at fear, you can't let go of yourself. So your attention is on yourself, you're hesitant. And when you talk, तो आप clarity में नहीं बोलते. आप इस तरह से अपने खुद को cover करते हैं कि आप हर तरफ से safe और secure हो जाए. Right? So that would be like a person at fear consciousness level. देन यू मूव ऑन टू एंगर का कैसे होगा, उसकी पर्सनालिटी कैसी होगी, तो इट विल बी अग्रेसिव, वो अपने बारे में सोच रहे हैं एंड वांट टू विन, दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ अप्रोच ही और शी हैज, वेरी इम्पल्सिव, एम्पैथी किसी और के साथ नहीं है, और ट्रूथ की मीनिंग ही फर्क है उनके लिए, वो बदल लेते हैं, उनके लिए जो ट्रूथ सूट करता है वो उसी तरह उसको प्रेजेंट करेंगे और सुनेंगे भी उसी के मुताबिक। And then we are looking at कि enthusiasm पे, strong interest पे कौन है, तो उसकी personality कैसी है. So they are actually very open, they're not hiding anything. आपको भी शामिल कर लेंगे अपने प्रोग्राम में, they won't hesitate in doing that. They'll be caring, आप कुछ बोल रहे हैं तो वो सुन रहे हैं, respond कर रहे हैं, understand कर रहे हैं और सच्ची तरीके से जवाब दे रहे हैं. So that is the sort of the different levels of personality. जो मैंने 3 ही खाली उठाए हैं, there are a lot more between each of them. So एक situation है, supposing you're I have a group of people and they are planning कोई vacation कहीं पे जाएं, तो fear पे जो consciousness level का person होगा, वो किस चीज को prioritize करेगा? You prioritize safety, familiarity होनी चाहिए, मैं वहीं जाऊं जहाँ पे I feel safe, familiar, जहाँ पे crime low हो, कोई सब चीजें structure हो, मुझे बहुत ही risky situation, unknownness नहीं चाहिए, right? So that's the kind of decisions a person based at fear will make. And anger को अगर देखें तो they will prefer an adventurous, challenging situation जहाँ वो obstacles हों, वो win करें, they can show they're winning, they're better, and they can achieve so much. उनकी priority उस vacation पे, they will enjoy that kind of a vacation. So enthusiasm पे जो होगा, that person will opt for a destination जो new experiences उनको दे, new culture immersions दे, they can find out more about things, उनकी opportunities of growth वहाँ पे ज़्यादा हो, they can do more learning, they can meet different people with different viewpoints. So that would be kind of the way that they would approach all of them a vacation that they are planning. तो इस चीज को आपको how does it apply to you? You have to keep in mind आप किस से बात कर रहे हैं, because accordingly उनके responses आएंगे, and you have to understand their consciousness level in order to get on with them. So when I said I'm only giving you 3 examples and I'm giving you very wide-ranging fear, anger, enthusiasm, लेकिन ये बहुत levels पे है. जैसे आप नीचे से ही अगर देखें तो एक बंदा जब बहुत डर में हो तो बिल्कुल नम हो सकता है, that's like an extreme state of fear, और टेरर फिर हो जाएगा, फिर डिस्पेयर, फिर फियर पे आएगा, फिर एंजाइटी पे चला जाएगा, right? So these are like levels of fear जो आप देख सकते हैं. They are different consciousness levels and they will behave differently to each other. इसी तरह इसके बाद आपके पास एंगर को हम कहते हैं, but somebody can be very covertly hostile, छुप के, क्योंकि वो डरता है, he's just moving out of fear, so he's covertly hostile. And then there's resentment, but he could be unexpressed resentment, and then there could be no sympathy, and then resentment expressed कर रहे हैं very openly, and hate and anger, these are like वही बैंड है, hostility है, लेकिन degrees हैं इसमें भी. So just giving you an idea, and it goes right up to the top like that, so that but I'm just taking the major ones तो आपको फर्क पता चल जाए. Right, so let's look at this to understand it a little bit more. आपको थोड़ा example से आप भी सोचें, कि कैसे एक मीटिंग है, आप मीटिंग जो है कैंसिल हो रही है, the meeting has been organized and it's being cancelled. So एक बंदा जो fear पे है उसको कॉल रिसीव होती है कि भाई ये मीटिंग कैंसिल हो गई, right? So what is going on in their consciousness level? So from a place of fear, वो इस न्यूज को एक तो चुप हो जाएंगे, they won't say much. They're thinking. Minimal word use करेंगे लेकिन उनको worry करेगा. They'll be anxious. क्यों हुआ? कैसे हुआ? क्या हुआ? क्यों किया? You know, and they will find reasons कि क्यों कैसे हो गया और मुझे इससे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा, and they'll be hesitant in expressing their feelings or asking questions. That's how a person at fear will say. So he might say, oh, okay. That's all he says. But behind it, everything else is going on, right? अगर anger वाला person है, and they are getting this news कि ये cancel हो गया, तो he'll show his irritation and he'll show his frustration कि ये क्या हो गया, फिर से मेरा टाइम इतना कीमती है और आप इस तरह कर लेते हैं मेरे साथ, you know. So he'll express that and it will be a charged response. And they might say, this is really inconvenient for me. You should have let me know before. There was another meeting I had to attend and you just messed up my day. So that kind of a response will be from somebody at anger. And then response from somebody at high interest, strong interest, enthusiasm, they'll be more understanding and they'll be more accommodating. They will, Sister Shazia, can you make sure that everybody's muted? Yep. Okay. So prioritize empathy karenge, somebody at strong interest. And they will, say, well, why did it happen, and try to find a solution to it. Says, no problem. I hope everything's okay. Let me know when you are available next time. We'll reschedule it. Right? So that will be the kind of response from that person at that stage. So predicting human behavior is important. And, and it depends, and you should give the news in such a way so that that person is comfortable with it. G. Somebody wants to ask a question? Raza, G. Please ask. I can see your hand.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wow.
I have one question. My question is, for example, एक शख्स है, उसके अंदर 2 बिहेवियर होते हैं. अगर ये मीटिंग कैंसिल होती है, जिनको वो लाइक करता है तो वो एक्ट नहीं करेगा, और अगर मीटिंग कैंसिल होती है जिनको वो डिसलाइक करता है तो वो शाउट करेगा. तो ये जो डबल स्टैंडर्ड बिहेवियर होता है, इसको हम किस में काउंट करें?
Yeah, I mean, we're just taking it at a level कि आप predict करें human behavior को. You know, if there is a person at fear के inner thoughts and inner emotions को हम देख रहे हैं कि वो क्या है, right? How they present themselves, they might do it differently with somebody. You know, if somebody is fearful, they find it very, अगर कोई डर के ऑफिस में डर के बैठा हुआ है, घर में वो बच्चों से नहीं डरते ना, वो अपना गुस्सा जाके वहां पे निकालते हैं फिर, because they're not frightened over there. So it's a question of you understanding कि ये person, and you have to empathize with them that they are at fear. You have to empathize with them. You know, every person is there and we are there to help them. So empathize with them, and then you will be able to help them. And the helping solutions, जो tools है ना, वो हम आगे discuss कर रहे हैं. Next वाला जो हमारा lecture 4 है, उसमें भी inshallah go through that. Is that okay? Yeah. Is it clear, Azhar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, so you understood this person, how they behave. Now let's handle, you don't want to keep an appointment. You don't want to keep an appointment. एक meeting आपने book कर लिया, आप कह रहे हैं अभी मुझे ये meeting नहीं चाहिए, इसकी इतनी ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. It's not really at this time needed, right? That's what you are thinking. Now, how will a person at fear, how will they convey this news? What will they say? This is important to know. How will they say? Will they tell you the truth? Somebody at fear? What do you think? They probably say, I'm really sorry, but something's come up and I can't make it. Can we reschedule for another time? They're not saying the actual truth कि उनको मीटिंग की नेसेसिटी ही नहीं लग रही. You know, they're not going to sit that way because they're just withdrawn and fearful about it. And somebody at anger will, you know, be just say blunt and abrupt and say, yes, I'm canceling this meeting. I've got better things to do and handle it, leave it at that. But somebody who's at a higher level of consciousness will say, you know, they will be frank about it. I've been thinking I don't see much point in this meeting right now. Maybe when we have a little more data on this and this and this area, it might be a good time to sit there and discuss it, right? So you have to make people comfortable in order to find out their reasons, even if they're at other consciousness levels, find out, you know, what is the real reason behind it, because they're not voicing it themselves, what that reason is. Does that make sense? Any questions on it? You're happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we looked at these causes of conflict, value and interest के differences हमने study किए. Power difference पे हम काफी detail में गए. Data differences देखे हैं. And now we are at personality differences पे हमने देखा. Now what are we looking at? कि personality differences से conflicts पैदा होंगे. Data differences के, power differences के, and value and interest differences के. So it's very, very important to be able to predict human behavior so that you can see you can say कि data difference आएगा. इस बंदे का ये consciousness level है. I need to make them feel very, very safe in order to get the right data from them. You know, power difference पे भी आपको देखना है, value or interest difference पे. So we're just going to quickly go through these areas so you get familiar with it. So अभी यहाँ पे अगर हम देखते हैं कि varying और interest level और motivation levels जो हैं एक person के हैं, and what how will they vary across the three areas? So what do you think would happen? Fear पे क्या करेगा बंदा? Fear पे the person is centered around safety, security, routine चाहिए, predictability चाहिए, avoidance of conflict चाहिए, right? And then you've got at anger, somebody wants challenge, intensity chahiye cheezon mein, competition chahiye. They also want to have power. So they will go for such kind of interests and motivations. And enthusiasm pe you have characterized curiosity hai, passion hai for things. They want to see a better world. They want to be creative. They want to learn and they want to know people. They like people. They like it, hearing different viewpoints. So that's how we are seeing उनके interest और motivations क्या हैं. So एक बंदा है, अगर आप उसको job offer करते हैं, right? There's a job offer. What kind of a job will a person at fear? What kind of a job would they like to have? What do you think? Something which is regular, right? Which is predictable, which is long term, जिसमें risks नहीं है, fire नहीं हो सकते. You know, salary IG, there's nothing, you know, there's nothing sort of they're thinking it's commission based or something, and they're not going to do anything like that because that would create a lot of risk for them. It would be too fearful for them. So what kind of a job would somebody who's at anger, what would they go for? Well, they want to go for something that would make them better than others, maybe, you know, more status, more money. They can create a name for themselves to beat the competition. You know, things like that would be their motivation. And enthusiasm pay, strong interest pay, person hoga. So they are looking more at, okay, innovation, something to better the world. How can I reach out and change the situation and lessen the suffering? So these examples आपको दिखाते हैं कि a person at different consciousness levels is making decisions that on whatever motivates them, and they are motivated by different things, right? I hope this thing makes sense. Should we do a little quiz just to see how you get on? Yeah, would you like to do that?
Sure.
Okay. So let me see. Can you see it, Sister Shazia? Nazar aa raha hai?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. So you're reading the following situations. So आपने उस consciousness level जो है ये तीन एक होगी हर situation की कि fear है, anger है, enthusiasm है. तो आप उसके response पे देख रहे हैं कि कैसा है. Can you see the full writing or not?
Yes.
थोड़ा सा problem मेरी तरफ आ रहा है
And
क्या? See
you,
full.
yeah, you just need to go on the
Click on that one and you can
yes,
see it.
and you will see the whole question. Yeah, option basically.
पूरा देख सक रहे हैं?
And अगर कोई हमें कंफर्म कर दे प्लीज. हाँ जी, मेरा responses
Yeah.
are.
So how many responses have we got? What about the other people? Can we speed it up? We got 27 people, alhamdulillah, in the group. Let's get the answers going. कौन fear वाले का क्या किस किस्म का job pick करेगा? What would how would we react? Which one applies? Somebody's saying they can't see the full option. Komal is saying she can't see the full option. Sister Shazia, can you explain क्या करना है?
यस सिस्टर कोमल, अगर आप इस ऑप्शन पे जाएं, इसको क्लिक करें तो पूरा ऑप्शन आपके पास खुल जाएगा. जो भी आंसर्स आपको हाफ दिख रहे हैं ना, पूरा स्टेटमेंट नहीं दिख रही है, उसको क्लिक करेंगे तो पूरी स्टेटमेंट आपको शो हो जाएगी. इसी तरह से सारी स्टेटमेंट्स पे जाएं एंड उसको देख लें.
I'm not sure, Marjorie, whether it's because of the net or
नेटवर्क. या
I'm not sure whether that's Huda आप भी देखें, what is it? Last time we इस तरह हुआ था and then it was showing the full thing. So we got 8 people answering. Can we do more?
I think people are trying, but it's just not.
Let's look at the answers then, right?
Yeah.
So पहला वाला क्या था? A friend is sharing their dreams and aspirations. That's nice. इस पे क्या? Based on the individual reading the following suggestions determine the conscious level of fear. Let me get to the share results. So a friend is sharing their dreams. जब बोल रहे हैं, but dreaming is unrealistic. तो किस किस्म का होगा बंदा जो कह रहा है dreaming unrealistic है? All your dreaming is really your imagination. If you don't dream and you don't imagine, you can't change anything. You know, it's part of life. बच्चों को अक्सर लोग बोलते हैं आप ख्वाबी दुनिया में नहीं रहो. Please don't say that. You know, it's just like imagination is such a blessing. It's such a blessing. Let children dream and, you know, think things out. This is how new inventions are made. So it's a good thing. So everybody saw the results, agrees with the results, right? सही दिया है आपने जवाब, which is good. Whoever did it, I'm sorry बाकियों को नहीं दिख रहा. Let's hope that inshallah जो next quiz आएगा आपके पास उस पे you can see it inshallah. All right. So now we go on to the next one. आपने motivation और interest को देख लिया, right? Now we are looking at what is their values and attitudes. So एक बंदा जो fear पे होगा, उनकी वही है, they will always have that thing as their value. इसमें safety है, harmony है, you know, cautiousness उनकी value है कि जो कुछ भी वो करेंगे life में, they will look at it from that viewpoint कि उसमें वो चीजें मौजूद हों. So how would they encourage their children? Anger में आप देख रहे हैं competition है, they will want control, justice, independence. Enthusiasm में they want creativity, authenticity, collaborate करेंगे दूसरों के साथ, growth उनकी value होगी. So एक बंदा जो fear पे है, how are they going to encourage their children? What kind of thing are they going to look for?
Fuck the children.
Excuse me? They're going to look for safety. Safety उनका major होगा. बच्चों को किस तरह से वो direct करेंगे जहाँ पे safety हो, जहाँ पे risk नहीं हो, safety in money, safety in promotion, safety in status, etc. A person at fear would give those kind of values to the children, right? And conscious, जो anger पे होगा, it would be more about competing and exceeding from other people, getting better than other people. So competing and getting better than your cousins, getting ahead of others, living a life of superiority to others in terms of money, status, materialism, जो भी ज़ाहिरी तौर पे हैं, वो उस तरह से उनके attitudes होंगे. And the consciousness level जहाँ पे आपका strong interest, high interest है, so they will be more giving their children the values of serving others, of encouraging their children to realize their full potential. Risks be lame. They will say, okay, through failure, you will learn. Okay, do it if this is what you want to do. Even if you fail the first time, there'll be a lot of learning to be done in that, and you will come out stronger out of it. So let's look at this area of आपका question क्या है, Subhi? What would you have a combination? What do you mean by that? Subhi? Can you explain that? हमने last time पढ़ा and we went over this consciousness level. So a person can move up and down the consciousness level, but when mostly they are at one level, they will generally be at one level through a period of time. वो उनका consciousness level है. So when you see a person at fear getting very enthusiastic when something happens, yes, they can be enthusiastic. कोई holiday आ गया है, या you've seen a good friend, you can get very enthusiastic. But your consciousness level, main जिस पे आपका base level है, वो fear है. But up and down तो हम सब जाते हैं नीचे ऊपर. I hope that answers the question. Okay, good. So let's see, inshallah, let me see if I can make this, Bismillah, that the quiz works this time better for everyone. Let's go on to the next quiz. Not allowing me to launch it for some reason. Let me switch it off totally and come out again. Oh, here we go. Bismillah. Can you see it? Can you see it, Sister Shazia?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're presented with 3 job opportunities. Choose the most likely consciousness level that would motivate someone to select each option. आपने बताना है कौन सा motivation level, कौन सी opportunity को select करेगा, fear, anger, and enthusiasm. Simple quiz है. Is it Majbeen, Huda, can you see it? Is it better this time or still problems?
Yeah, they can see it.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
With Majbeen is the same, yeah.
I can read it. Number 1 है a stable domestic position with predictable hours and minimum risk, right? With minimum risk. ये कौन सा लेगा? Fear, anger, या enthusiasm. That's the first one. So an international position focused on problem solving and innovation. ये कौन लेगा? Fear, anger, या enthusiasm. एक pick करना है आपने. A high pressure, competitive role with significant financial reward. ये कौन करेगा? Right? How many people have we got? Let's go. Good. Got a little more response. और लोग भी try करें. I think आपको आता है. You know this. You see it every day. Good. We're having more people attempting this time. Good.
अच्छा बहन, आप चैट में अपना ड्रॉप कर दें अपनी ऑप्शंस A B C या जैसे भी.
So F for fear, A for anger, E for enthusiasm. Oh, good. Okay, I'm going to end the poll there and share results. Right? Excellent. So, कोई questions हैं इस area पे? You're happy with it? Anybody, any questions? Please ask, otherwise we'll move on. Okay. So now we come to, we're looking at power differences. Power differences or personality difference, what difference does it make? If there is a personality level difference, तो power conflict, power differences से वो कैसे respond करता है बंदा at different levels of consciousness. That's what we're looking at. So एक बंदा at fear है, वो avoid करेगा. Power difference उसको नहीं अच्छा लगता. Anxiety होगी, उससे engage ही नहीं होगा इस situation से. Morale भी उनका कम होगा, उससे सारे environment का मोरल कम हो जाता है. And somebody at anger, how do they react? They would be hostile, they will be defending themselves, tension create hoga, conflict create hoga in a power situation. And somebody with a strong interest, enthusiasm, they can handle the power, they're not threatened by it. Person high on the consciousness level, it doesn't threaten them. Agar kisi ke paas power hai, ya kam hai, ya zyada, they're not affected by that. So they like the collaborative effect and they like to support everybody, and everybody they want to help out. So that's where they are at. So we're just going to look at कि अगर एक response to power की आपके पास position है, you know, and you are getting a place there and you have got a power position, तो आप कैसे उसको what will be your reaction to it? What will be your reaction to a power position? Will you be accepting it? Would you be running for it if you were at fear? Would you want it? If you were at the fear consciousness level, what do you think? So we're looking at कि वो refuse करेगा ज़्यादातर. अगर मैं एक person एक fear consciousness level पे मैं सुबह group leader बना रही हूँ, what are they going to do? They're not going to, no, they'll make a lot of excuses. मेरे पास time नहीं है, मैं बहुत busy हूँ, मेरे पास ये I can't really do it, right? And somebody, how would they, somebody at anger respond to such a thing? How would they say कि power क्या difference आ रहा है, तो power की position दी जा रही है, would they like it? They would probably like it because they can dominate others and control others, and they are being given this position, so they would probably love it, right? But their way of dealing with it would be totally different to what a person at enthusiasm would do. Enthusiasm वाला भी ले लेगा, बड़ी खुशी से ले लेगा. Lekin he will collaborate and take other people's opinions and ask them for how can we best solve this problem, whereas the person at anger will be more dominating and authoritarian in terms of running the show. Does that make sense? Okay, different log at different consciousness level will respond to a power ki opportunity ko, they will respond differently, right? So let's see how you do on the quiz on this one. Is there any question on this one? You happy with it? Let's look at the quiz. आप कैसे करते हो? So here's the third quiz. You're talking about predicting how a person at different consciousness level will react when a community leader has an opportunity to lead a project aimed at improving communication between community members. Group members are offered this opportunity to lead, match the personality to the leadership approach taken. Are we okay, Majbeen? Yeah, Parun, Harik. You can see it?
That's the same issue again. Yeah, he wants to.
Okay, so
to read
number one, where the leader takes a top-down approach. Top-down approach, dictating the project's direction and making all decisions and demanding enforcement. ये पहला है. The leader avoids taking on the project, saying a lack of time or resources. And the leader facilitates a collaborative process involving community members in decision-making. It seems to disappear on me, and encouraging open dialogue to come up with good solutions, right? I think it's simple enough, right? आप देख रहे हो कि you can predict human behavior in terms of power की offer होती है तो क्या करता है एक बंदा when they are given the opportunity. How are we doing? Any more answers? We got 10 people. No more? 11? Okay. Closing it. All right. So you can see the last one is collaboration जो है, and the first one जो इस पे कौन करेगा, top down dictating जो है वो anger वाला person करेगा, right? जो avoid करेगा वो fear पे है. So now we move on to the next one. कोई questions इस पे? We're going to the last one, which is on data. कि data को कैसे deal करेगा एक person at a different consciousness level? How will they deal with that? Okay. So this is like, data is everywhere. Information is everywhere. We are all consuming data and information every day. But that same data, आप एक level पे consciousness पे हैं तो आप उसको different तरीके से देखते हैं. कोई और किसी और पे है, they take it totally differently, right? So operating from anger, fear or boredom जो है आपके it does bring about आप कोई data देख रहे हैं, दे रहे हैं, so there's a lack of concern about it at lower levels of consciousness. They're not bothered about it. You think, to some of us, it's like the end of the world, the Palestine issue, and we even say it and everything, but to some people it isn't. That's why the situation is still continuing the way it is. So there's a lack of concern, there's accuracy of information, maybe unka perception bilkul farak hai at lower levels of consciousness. उनका जो approach है disengaged है from that data. They don't really engage with it, and when you ask about them, they will give you misleading, incomplete, and unreliable answers, and you have to be careful about that, because उनकी अपनी perception जो है वो बिल्कुल फर्क है, and they're seeing a very narrow vision. So अपने तौर पे वो सच ही बोल रहे हैं, they're not जानबूझ के नहीं आपको गलत बोल रहे, लेकिन they are. You have to be aware that because of their consciousness level, they will respond like this. So enthusiasm पे जो बंदा होगा उसकी बात पे आपको एतबार होगा. They will include everyone and take different viewpoints, so you have a much better chance of having a very constructive conversation and relying on the data that you're receiving from that person. So supposing, let's take an example कि आप you're working in an environment or आपको information मिलती है कि sitting arrangements इस office की change हो रही हैं. Your senior informs you or somebody in administration informs you कि sitting arrangements, we are changing them today, in order to increase productivity. So how will a person at this level see this news? How will they see it? At fear. He gets his data and he thinks, What will change? How risky am I going to get? What are they going to watch? Why are they changing it? It's all anxiousness and worry and self-centeredness. You can't see anything, it's not very simple of the sitting arrangement is changing to increase the productivity of the team. So there is they look at it like a threatening situation. They don't like the change. They find it a little bit risky. And the person at anger, how is he or she going to respond to that? Why are they changing this thing? They're always changing, wasting time. There's a reaction. It's not straightforward towards, well, is this a productive thing or not? And somebody at higher one would probably, if they have a doubt, they would say, well, why are we changing it? Ask the question, and otherwise they could say, oh yeah, okay, team members who are working on one project need to be closer together, or who are sharing, have common things in, on projects, they need to be closer, and maybe they're changing it for this reason. So something like that. So you can see that data receiving can be give you a different, it can be taken differently when you are giving a data by different people at different consciousness levels. And then the other thing you have to see is कि कोई consciousness level different है और कोई चीज होती है तो बंदा कैसे react करता है. I mean, we went through COVID and everything, and there was a shortage of toilet paper, or we had paracetamol running out in shops or something like that. So एक बंदा जो fear पे है वो क्या करेगा इस information के साथ? What do you think they did? We had the notices were everywhere. Don't take too much toilet paper, and everybody was just taking them all, and its shelves khali ho gaye. That was the situation where people at lower consciousness level say, "Oh, this is going to happen. I better be safe. I better keep my children safe. I better keep my home safe. I better have more than less." And that's the kind of thing. And the anger per person or people at hate or resentment or something like that, they were, well, I don't want to be in that situation like anybody else. I want to be better off than them. So he's going to also hoard a little bit. Whereas somebody at higher one will say, okay, I can do enough with this minimum that I've been told, and I can continue, and inshallah, everybody should have something, and supply फिर खुल जाएगी तो सबको फायदा हो जाएगा. So it's a very different approach of even looking at data that one has to be careful of, and it's our duty to make that situation safe for people so they can make the right decisions in those cases, right? So that's let's do the last quiz on this one and see how you do. Any questions on this one? Happy with it?
No questions.
Thank you.
एक क्वेश्चन है.
ये करें, ये क्विज करें, फिर रज़ा take it. ये क्विज करें, फिर करते हैं, right? Okay, let's just, can you see the quiz?
Yeah.
So you're conducting a survey to gather information about community needs. Participants are asked a series of questions about their experiences and opinions. So आपने देखना है इसमें वो आपके 4 levels हैं, fear, anger, boredom, enthusiasm. कौन सा लगेगा? और लोग भी attempt करें. See, quite easy, just try it. Doesn't matter if you get it wrong. You can always ask a question and clarify it. Yeah, that's right, Fatma. Okay, No, stop it there. I think, I don't know, some people are still having issues with internet. So I share the results, right? So did quite well आप पहचान लेते हो. That's good. Excellent. All right.
ओके, एक और
Question
ये मुझे
number-
पता चला, जब भी आप ये किसी ने स्क्रीनशॉट शेयर किया है, यहाँ पे एक ड्रॉप डाउन बटन होगा, उसको क्लिक करें तो पूरा खुल जाएगा आपकी जो स्टेटमेंट है। जो लोग फोन पे कर रहे हैं ना, उनके उनके फोन में जो ऑप्शंस आ रहे हैं उनके साथ एक ड्रॉप डाउन बटन होगा, उसको क्लिक करें, एरो जो बना हुआ है उल्टा सा वी शेप का, उसको क्लिक करें तो पूरा स्टेटमेंट खुल जाएगा।
All right. So Rosa, you had a question? Anybody has any question on this one? Change your mind, Rosa? Question है नहीं है? Is he unmuted, Sister Shazia? I'm not sure. Anyway, maybe the question got answered. Anyway, so what did we look at in predicting human behavior? क्या समझे आप इससे? कि personality difference की वजह से you will have additional conflicts, data differences के power difference वैसे भी होंगे, you know, even if you're at the same consciousness level, वो हमने we've studied that value or interest की वजह से हो सकता है, वही आपका consciousness level है किसी और के साथ, फिर भी हो सकता है, लेकिन if there's a personality difference, you're going to have a higher probability of data differences, power differences, and value and interest differences. So what you have to do is be able to predict human behavior, उसका ख्याल करें कि उनका जो consciousness level है, and we'll go over this in our tools, कि उसके तौर पे आपने बात करनी है, because otherwise you're going to break the understanding with them and they won't understand it. So this part of the lecture 3, which is about predicting human behavior, ये चीज apply होगी tools में. So you should look around your, you know, your environment, all the people that you have around you, and try and see कि उनका consciousness level क्या है. Because you need to change your way of talking to them so that they can understand you. You know, you can't just talk, you know, sometimes we're just talking because the biggest mistake we make, हम सोचते हैं जैसे हम हैं वैसे सब हैं. Do you agree? We look at it like that. And then we say, इसको क्या समझ क्यों नहीं आ रही? It is so obvious, right? But what we have to realize is that we are all different and we need to spot their consciousness level and we need to adjust our communication to their consciousness level so that they can understand what you want them to, what you want to say to them. So we said that you know, to minimize your conflicts, you should not compare and compete because Allah Ta'ala has made you unique. You have immense potential. There is no need for you to compete and compare with anybody. You've got a separate, unique journey. And you realize that as you go through our courses, you realize how special you are. You've been sent on earth for a special मकसद, and आपकी जो environment और लोग हैं वो भी खास आपको दिए गए हैं so that you can fully reach your full potential and help them. And that is your purpose in life. So compare and comparison ना करें, अपने को rights दें, दूसरे को भी rights दें हमेशा, लेकिन अपने rights को बंद नहीं करें please, because that's going to create a power conflict within yourself. So always respect yourself, right? And अपने rights को याद रखें. Don't let somebody take them away or give it away yourself. Okay, you're just being nice. No, it's going to create a power conflict if you do that. So data differences में भी आप clarify करें, check करें अपने data sources को, assume नहीं करें चीजों को, and verify करें to avoid conflict, right? and be aware of the value and interest differences of the various consciousness levels. So I think that kind of wraps up the area of personality differences. You know, if you have any questions, please do ask them. Sister Shazia is going to make the survey form available for you. And our next topic will be on how do we use the tools to bring about an understanding. What are the main things that we need to be aware of in order to create an understanding with another person? So over to you, Sister Farhana. Quick questions hain, so we can then take them.
Jazakallah, Sister Shazia. Jazakallah, Sister Faida, for this, brief and concise session, but it kind of, helps us focus कि ये personality differences, again, personal differences, by personal differences, we meaning कि लोग different, levels of consciousness पे हैं, different states में most of the time रहते हैं. It's not about, occasional episodes where we kind of shift in our levels, but most persistently जो state में हैं, that is kind of what we are calling as personality, levels. And because of that, subhanallah, we saw that उनकी values भी फर्क होती हैं जब personality different होती है, उनके motivation भी अलग होती है, उनकी जो information वो लोग या data gather कर रहे हैं surroundings से
Sister Farhana, we're losing your voice. You're losing your voice. Sister Farhana, we've lost your voice.
And फिर वो power को इनका behavior, 1 second. Okay. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So in summary, different consciousness levels पे रहने की वजह से we have a difference in our values, our motivation, our way we deal with conflicts, and so subhanallah. So that's kind of what our takeaway was. We have, please, questions आप लोग hand raise करें या आप chat में करें questions, then we can go ahead and ask. So I think, Sister, before that, survey form, it's important for us. We would really benefit from survey forms, ताकि we can improve. We can fill up the gaps where we are missing something. So we want to basically benefit all the people who come here. That's our only benefit. So please, आप survey form में sincerely आप लिखें कि फायदा हो रहा है, समझने में मुश्किल हो रही है, anything which is which is not being taken care by us, please आप उस हमें positive feedback दें. ठीक है. And okay, I think we have one question by Sister Azra ने question chat में पूछा है कि what is the difference between consciousness and conscience? Sister Faida, go ahead.
So you're really talking, we are talking, when we say ness, having ness को add करते हैं, we're talking about having to do with. So breathlessness would be, you're just saying having to do with that, breathlessness. So ness वैसे add होता है, so the words are quite connected. When we are saying consciousness, we are talking about your general awareness about life and everything around you. And conscious आप कितने हैं? Consciousness भी वही है बात, but we're looking at is about, because it's just a ness added to it, right? The word ness.
Conscience, the other word was conscience, like the moral compass, that kind of conscience.
Okay, right. So that is just your right ability to say right and wrong on things. And that is obviously connected to your consciousness level. It is connected. They are both connected, right? Does that make sense? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. बिल्कुल, जितना आप conscious
higher up होंगे, उतना ही आपका morality compass जो है वो higher होगा, right? And you will be able to assess the situation more with respect to everybody rather than just yourself. जितना low होगा आपका conscious, you'll be able to, you'll be just thinking about yourself and nobody else.
Okay, absolutely. Okay. Jazakallah khairan. Okay. Any other questions? Please go ahead and hand be raise kar sakte hain, and or you can chat in the question. I'll read that out as well. So, Sister Faida, so is it essential for everyone to know the consciousness levels of everyone in the surroundings, at least in the family and the close colleagues at work? Should we have this level of awareness?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely necessary. If we had known, even at the, high levels, अगर आपको अपने leaders का ही पता होता कि इनकी consciousness level क्या है, spiritually, soul level क्या है, you would have not elected them. We just went by the words, by the promo, by the media, we just do it like that. Although it's very, very clear, it's, but we're not looking. We just want to hear what we want to hear. And that's the habit that we have to change, It's not, just comfortable feel karte hain when we hear things that will keep us safe and secure, and we don't question them. And that has led to where we are. So absolutely necessary within the family, with friends, even with a shopkeeper. It's just, you have to be aware whether you're going to be tricked or not. It's, it all depends on whether you can spot them. You don't have to even talk to them, even by looking at people. You can spot it. You will get very clever at it.
Yeah. Subhanallah. And for spotting, how much should you take their words at face value, and or how much should we see what their actions are? Which is more important?
Yeah, the actions would be, words to just say, you can say anything, isn't it? It's just, words are not the thing. You have to look at their behavior. You have to look at their actions. How do they react to stress? What is when it comes to a real situation and they have to do something, what do they do? How do they, and that can help you judge where they are, and you can help them with that.
Yeah, subhanallah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even this Israel conflict, propaganda, the news, they come on the podium and say something, and then they just walk away, and what is happening is totally not in alignment at all. So subhanallah. So you've got to be aware to be, so yeah, subhanallah. So it's not only about our own, knowing our own self and our awareness about our own consciousness level, but we also are, should be knowing the consciousness level of the people who matter to us as well.
Yeah. In taking a job, in a company, in an organization, everywhere it matters. You're joining a group. You need to have people of high level of consciousness if you want to, raise yourself spiritually as well. It impacts on you if you go to a group which has got a lower consciousness level.
SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah. Here, SubhanAllah. Hadith of Prophet Sallallahu, their friends are the most important because they, either raise or lower your consciousness level.
Yeah.
So, absolutely. Yeah, SubhanAllah. Okay. Any other questions, please? Sister Azra is asking for the recording for the session. SubhanAllah, they're struggling with the, internet connection keeps dropping in between. So, inshallah, we will get that, recording as well. SubhanAllah. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions we have? We were right on dot. Sister Sana, go ahead. आप unmute कर लें अपने आप को and go ahead and ask your questions, Sister Sana.
Ji Sana, you going to ask in chat or?
Sana, can you unmute yourself? Yes, you can.
Unmute. Go ahead. You can ask. You are unmuted. Mic is open, लेकिन आवाज नहीं आ रही हमें. If you're speaking, your voice is not coming. Mic तो unmute बता रहा है इस पे. Sana, chat कर दे. For some reason we are not able to hear you. Any other questions? Anyone else wants to go ahead?
How many people feel that they can predict human behavior a bit more? क्या कहेंगे आप predict कर सकते हैं अपने घर में बता सकते हैं लोगों के different consciousness level? Are you more able to do that? As I said, ज़्यादातर हम क्या करते हैं सोचते हैं सब हमारे जैसे ही हैं. And that's a big mistake, because then
Yeah.
you're not seeing the individual as they are and where they are, you know.
मेरा ख्याल है बिनते इस्माइल, सिस्टर बिनते इस्माइल, आपने आप हमारे ग्रुप में हैं, लेकिन आज शायद आप फर्स्ट टाइम हमारा सेशन अटेंड कर रही हैं। मैं अनम्यूट कर रही हूँ सबको, ताकि वो अगर किसी को बात करनी है तो
इससे सुना, आपका
इस पे
क्वेश्चन क्या है?
ऐसे सना चैट में टाइप किया है कि मुझे कहते हैं कि मैं गलत हूँ, इवन उनको खुद नहीं पता कैसे डील करना है, एंड हाउ कैन आई डील विद देयर रूड बिहेवियर। सो क्योंकि वो cousins या friends या parents, whoever it is, so whether it's cousins or friends or parents, how to handle rude behavior, and they're telling that she's wrong. So inshallah, I think the first step was to find out what conscious level they are all running at after the session.
Maybe she's saying they're at anger, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, एक ग्रुप जो होता है ना, उसमें it exists based on agreements within that group, चाहे वो फैमिली का ग्रुप हो या फ्रेंड्स का ग्रुप हो, राइट? अभी एक ग्रुप में गुस्सा हो रहा है, एंग्री हो रहे हैं, तो ये भी एक ग्रुप अग्रीमेंट है कि ये कर सकते हैं आप, राइट? सो इवन इफ दे आर गेटिंग एंग्री, उन पे भी कोई गुस्सा कर रहा है, उनको भी कोई गलत बोल रहा है, तो उनको भी वो अच्छा नहीं लगता, राइट? सो द फर्स्ट थिंग is to have a little chat and make a group agreement not to be angry and rude, but to talk respectfully to each other. पहले तो ये तो ले आए ना, तो फिर आगे हम there's some hope after that. But everybody is suffering in that family, जहाँ पे गलत एक दूसरे को wrong करते हैं, shout करते हैं, rude होते हैं. So it's something that nobody is going to like, and everybody will want कि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So you've tried it. So get more people on your side, inshallah.
तो सिस्टर फरीदा, इसका तरीका क्या होना चाहिए? मुझे भी बड़े गुस्से से उनको बताना चाहिए कि खबरदार, आप ऐसा नहीं बिहेव कर सकते।
No, not खबरदार. This is no, we have to, this is why with the next topic is the tools. That's what you're asking, now, कि किस तरह से कहा जाए, कैसे कहा जाए कि उनको ये भी वो appealing हो. It's not being said in that way to make it appealing to them.
मैं इसलिए कह रही हूँ ना कि हम इतने फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो जाते हैं दोस्तों के बिहेवियर से कि हम खुद वैसा ही उसी तरीके से उसी टोन में बात करना शुरू कर देते हैं।
हाँ,
और हम चाहते हैं कि वो अच्छे हो जाएं हमारे इस तरह के बिहेवियर। आई मीन इस तरह एक्सपेक्ट करना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है, लेकिन करते हम वैसे ही हैं।
हाँ, and I think the other thing, Sana, is also कि आपको आपके एक दफा बोलने में, 2 दफा बोलने में, 3 दफा बोलने में नहीं आएगा चेंज. यू गॉट अ हैबिट ऑफ months and years that this has been going on. It's going to take time to bring it in, but you have to set the first example of not getting angry, not being rude. You have to exemplify. फिर जो आपका कोई cousin है या बहन भाई है, आप 2 हो जाएं, 3 हो जाएं जो बिल्कुल उस रूल को ले आए, gradually you change the agreements in the group, right? But you never give up on it. You never give up on what is right. That वो तो फिर आप खुद भी खत्म हो गए if you give up on it, right? So tools के साथ देखें इस तरह, maybe it will help. हाँ. So I don't know उनकी I mean I I'm assuming that everybody's, sane and able to control their behavior. I'm assuming that they're not in the insane category. ये तो मैं assume कर रही हूँ, अगर उनको help चाहिए of a higher qualified person, तो वो फर्क matter. That's another matter that I'm not qualified to say. But, we have to start first pointing a finger at ourselves to improve a situation. It's not going to help if you keep pointing the finger at them. You have to say, how am I creating this situation? How do I change it? How do I set an example? How do I bring calmness? And they will float towards you because you'll be calmer, they'll come towards you. You've got to take that on, and give it 6 months. Give it 6 months, 1 year, you'll see the change. Don't expect it. Don't expect it immediately aayega. Sister Shazia, unmute karenge. Sister Samina, would you like to ask?
Yeah. मैंने allow कर दिया. You can unmute yourself, Sister Smina.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम।
अच्छा, मैंने पूछना था जैसे हस्बैंड वाइफ हूँ या इस तरह के कुछ रिश्ते होते हैं ऐसे ना, जैसे बंदा घर में रूड सा होता है ना, जैसे हस्बैंड वाइफ के साथ या मतलब वाइफ हस्बैंड के साथ, लेकिन बाहर वही बंदा डिफरेंट होता है टोटली। मतलब तो इस सूरत में मतलब इसको कैसे बंदा डील करे ना, जैसे बाहर कहते हो ये बंदा बड़ा ही अच्छा है, लेकिन मैं वही बंदा जो घर में मतलब वो टोटली, इसको हम तो ऐसे इजीली कह देते हैं ना कि बंदा टू फेसेस है, ऐसे कहते हैं ना कि बाहर हो रहा है घर के अंदर हो रहा है, लेकिन हम इसको डील कैसे करें ना बंदा फिर वो।
अच्छा, फर्स्टली तो समीना, ये हुआ क्यों टू फेस्ड? दो क्यों न बना? क्योंकि आपने अलग किया।
ठीक।
as a wife we make that first mistake. We do it as well. ये नहीं है हम परफेक्ट अपना शक्ल दिखाते हैं, हम भी अपनी इमोशनल स्टेट खुद ही छुट्टी दे देते हैं, and that's how it all goes wrong. And that बात हो रही थी सिस्टर फरहाना से भी, we need to actually run a course on how to create a relationship in marriage, because you go wrong, but that doesn't mean कि wrong आपसे भी गलतियां हुई, हमसे भी गलतियां हुई हैं, but you can fix it.
क्योंकि इस चीज का असर फिर बच्चों पर पड़ता है ना, जब बच्चे पे असर करते हैं इस चीज का।
बच्चे भी वही बिहेवियर करेंगे ना जो आपको देखेंगे,
मतलब सीख रहे हैं ना बच्चे से।
But you have to also become somebody who totally respects your husband, talks very politely, gently, and he will start listening to you. You have to set the example yourself. So,
फर्स्ट खुद बंदा चेंज हो,
पहले खुद एग्जांपल सेट करे, फिर दूसरों से एक्सपेक्ट करे कि and that that जो पहला talk we had on this thing, I clarified कि प्रोफेशनल और पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप है, लेकिन जो आप हमेशा प्रोफेशनल है, आप क्लासिफाई करते हैं पर्सनल और प्रोफेशनल रिलेशनशिप, ऑफिस के लोग प्रोफेशनल, घर फ्रेंड्स पर्सनल, लेकिन you as a person, you're always professional. अपने रिलेशनशिप में आपकी छुट्टी नहीं होती, कभी भी
नहीं होती, 24 आवर जॉब,
24 आवर जॉब। आपको बच्चा देख रहा है, आपको शोहर देख रहा है, husband will listen to you. There is so much there that they want guidance on, and they're looking to the wife to guide them on it. And if we raise ourselves to that level, so they are very grateful for that. It creates a very peaceful home. And they like being there and they feel secure, because life is tough outside. This is the only place they can come. So, it's I think as a woman, we have been blessed with the role where everyone turns to us. So it's like we should set a very good example of ourselves, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, subhanallah, how important it is. We cannot have any lag time or lazy time. Subhanallah, we have to be on our best at every time. So that is, it is work. Subhanallah, and I was just reflecting when you were talking about the role of wife. Subhanallah, Khadija radiallahu anha, I mean, she was this personality, and subhanallah, what a solid marriage, with Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it was her character as well, you know, as much as it is Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's character as well. Subhanallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the, you know, knowledge and wisdom to implement these, and the sabr, and you know, to implement these and be exemplify as women in our lives. Amen.
Ameen, ameen. Any other questions?
Mr. Jacinta, just a quick question. हम उन रिश्तों को कैसे अब बरकरार करें जो टूट चुके हैं काफी हद तक, लाइक जैसे अगर कुछ पेरेंट्स का बच्चों के साथ रिलेशन बहुत खराब हो चुका है, मे बी वो खुद अवेयर नहीं थे कि रिलेशन कैसे बिल्ड करना है, जैसे सिस्टर ने भी एग्जांपल दी, उसको भी साथ लेने, क्योंकि पेरेंट्स की एग्जांपल काफी बुरी थी। अब वो बच्चे जवान हो चुके हैं, तो अब वो ज़रा उनका ट्रस्ट भी पेरेंट्स पे नहीं है, तो अब उस हम टूटे हुए रिलेशन को अब हम कैसे बेहतर बना सकते हैं, अब मैं किस तरह हम उन रिश्तों को मैनेज करें अब?
I think Sister Sana, ये next lecture इसी पे, how do you do it? You know, it's all the tools. What is understanding and what do you need to do to re-establish something that's totally broken or slightly broken, or, you know, it's very good, but you still want to improve it. So what tools, you know, the basic level of understanding, you know, you need that. कोई भी बात करने के लिए भी वो understanding level चाहिए ना, and that's what you're talking about. So inshallah we'll cover that in our next session. Inshallah.
Looking forward to it. Jazakallah khair.
Yeah, subhanallah. Absolutely. No, we're waiting for this thing. Subhanallah. Means a lot. Okay. Anyone else? Shazia, anything else you need to?
I think और कोई question नहीं है, तो बस
Survey forms भरे, you know,
जी
I have to tell my audience अभी कितने थोड़े लोग ही रह गए, I should have said it before. You know, basically survey form भरना चाहिए आप लोगों को. You know, last time we had 25 people and 4 people fill it in. No, this is like, you know, it's like good manners. It's good manners. आप सुन रहे लेक्चर, हमें बता तो दे आपको कैसा लगा, राइट? तो उधर भी सिस्टर शाजिया, सिस्टर आयशा ग्रुप में भी डालें प्लीज. जो भी आया है सर्वे फॉर्म नहीं भरा है तो प्लीज भरते हैं, हमें भी पता चलता है आपको क्या नेक्स्ट चाहिए, क्या आपको बॉदर कर रहा है. You know, how can we improve? And we want this to be a very support group for you. तो जितना आप हमें बताते हैं हम उतना ही आपके you know, what you tell us, हम उस पे we give it a very high value what you think. And we are here to service you, right? Inshallah.
चलो ठीक है, फिर फिनिश करते हैं. अभी नेक्स्ट वाले सेशन क्या हमने ऑलरेडी बता दिया है.
What
Recording stop कर रही हूँ.
on Thursday, right, Sister Fana?
Yeah, you're coming Thursday, 5:30 p.m.